Hi, welcome to Matt Holman Golf. Thought I'd take a look at Michelle Wie today. I've got some footage on the left hand side from 2010 and some footage on the right hand side 2015. So it was quite interesting, I thought I'd do a review of Michelle. I've looked at her swing from sort of 13 when she came on the scene all the way through. And it's quite interesting, you see sort of different theories and different looks in her golf swing. I think, in the 5-year period, the swing on the left to the right-hand side, she's definitely gone to a different technique in these last few years. So we can start on the left-hand side here. I think set up very orthodox. I think she's been working with David Leadbetter a long time now. She must be sort of mid-20s, so I would say 10 years plus. And I can see some of the changes even in sort of David's theory in this swing as well. I've definitely tried sort of slightly different methods. So setup is very orthodox, sort of hands on plane, club head works pretty much up the shaft plane line. So set up on the right hand side quite similar. She's definitely slightly more bent over in terms of the spine angle, and I think you're going to see that in the look of the swing. It's a slightly different look there. So she's definitely gone to this sort of a little bit more sort of hands in, club out, but the real noticeable element is in terms of the club face. The club face is definitely a lot stronger, and in the work I've done with Sean Hogan on my own game and different students, I think definitely does a lot of work with Lydia Ko, likes this look where we have the club face sort of matching our sort of lead forearm there. I think that's where the modern swing has gone recently, definitely. You can see on the left hand side here, Michelle's face is sort of rotating more open. You're going to see a different look on the right hand side, a much squarer look. And again, I've seen Sean teaching students of mine, and I've spoken to him a lot about it. Guys like Ernie in his prime, and with Trevor Immelman during the Masters period, Swartzel. At times I would get them in this look where the face is sort of rotating the shaft quite early, getting the face open, especially for the player that's getting the club closed, dropping the club head behind them, hitting blocks and hooks. I've seen them, really get some great success out of players getting quite an open looking toe hanging face. And that's what I really like actually with David's methods and work I've done with Sean. They're really varying this sort of backswing look actually relative to the player's tendencies, and I think that's really the key here. So as Michelle goes on the left hand side, it's definitely a higher arm look. It's a wide look. It's not too much set in the wrists. So we continue on the right hand side. So now I tried to pick as similar clubs as I could find. They're both sort of some sort of hybrid. The arm swing is definitely shorter. The arms are definitely lower relative to the head. So our arms are quite high on the left hand side. For me personally, I prefer this look on the right hand side. The club face is not as open, it's squarer. This is still sort of pointing slightly off to left field. And now starting on the right hand side where her club face is a little stronger, the arm planes are a little lower. She's always had this very fast lower body movement there. She's not really sort of a bump and turn sort of player. If we looked at like an Annika Sorensen, it's more a sort of spinny movement of the hips. It creates a lot of speed, but it's about sinking the arms to that. So the right hand side, I think she's doing a great job of that. Club is clearly out in front of her. Huge rotation through the hips there. So on this left hand swing, everything is, she's still got that sort of aggressive lower body, but everything's going to drop behind her a little bit more. And then what I'm not such a fan of is this very sort of chase down the target look there, and with very quick hips, those arms clubs sort of falling behind her a little, chasing it down the line. There's definitely going to be a tendency to sort of hit some pushes and pull draws there. I've definitely experienced that in my own game. It's definitely more a draw out line on the left hand side here. You can see how her arms are exiting so far in front of her body. What I like much more on the right hand side now is how the handle is swinging much more left around that hip pocket. You know, the club head, club shaft hands are much more on plane, and you can see now exit wise the arms are much more matching her shoulder plane rather than being so sort of vertical there. Again, with that one frame, you know, the arm plane's got very steep in through swing relative to backswing, increasing some chance of definitely pull draws and pushes going on there. So I really feel that where she's gone with her golf swing here is a much simpler way to play, and I think it's shown really in terms of her consistency and her success in the U.S. Open and recent events.